Daniel Guerra aqui do canal Heavy Magic. Bom, hoje eu vou falar para vocês sobre um workshop do Nicko McBrain que eu gravei o áudio, né, em 23 de agosto de 1996. Foi um dia antes do primeiro show do Blaze aqui no Brasil, né, da turnê do X Factor. E tava todo mundo ansioso para ver qual seria o desempenho, né, do Blaze e tal. E aí o Nicko deu esse workshop, né, e putz, foi legal demais, o cara é incrível, né, engraçado pra caramba, várias palhaçadas e tal, e simpático pra caramba, e toca muito, né, o cara toca bem demais, né. Bom, nesse workshop aí ele falou como que ele aprendeu a tocar, por que ele se interessou, né? Ele mostrou várias técnicas de bateria, ele deu uma palhinha da música Vários antes mesmo dela ser lançada, né? Achei bem legal mesmo, é um item de colecionador. Quem curte Iron Maiden não pode deixar de ver esse workshop, ouvir, né? Infelizmente eu não tenho as imagens, mas tenho o áudio todo e vale muito a pena. Beleza? Espero que vocês gostem. Deixa o like aí, aciona o sininho das notificações, se inscreve no canal, divulga o meu canal por aí, que eu vou estar sempre colocando vídeo novo aí, que vai ser muito legal. Daqui pra frente vai ter sempre vídeo novo aí, beleza? Valeu, gente, abraço!
You're too kind. You're too kind. You really are. Listen, I thank you very much for such a wonderful welcome. Because after I finish playing, you ain't going to be doing that, okay?
Ele está agradecendo a vocês pela gentileza e pelo calor dessa recepção. E ele falou que com certeza ao término do show vocês não vão estar gostando tanto assim. Mas...
Hello! How many senoritas in the audience? He's a geezer. Let's go. All the ladies, put your hands up.
Garota, as meninas, por favor, ergam as mãos. Bem alto para eu ver também.
Ah, ladies! Did you two come together?
Vocês duas vieram juntas?
I'd like to have seen that. Never mind. Okay, fair enough. He got it. He got the joke, but he ain't translated it. Go on. Yeah.
Ele falou que ia ver isso melhor depois, mais tarde.
You're disgusting, you lot. You know what? Okay,
this is my job. Deixa eu só dar um aviso. Relaxem todos vocês. Como vai ter um outro set mais tarde, ele vai poder receber todo mundo. Ele vai poder autografar todos. Em função disso também, ele vai pedir, a gente está pedindo a vocês a gentileza de quando terminar, a gente vai colocar uma mesa aqui, vocês vão poder ir passando e saindo. Ele pediu pela escada, ele vai pedir para vocês não subirem no palco e tudo mais, tá? Se for o caso, ocasionalmente ele costuma trazer uma pessoa para tocar e tudo mais, então é só relaxar e aproveitar, ok? Alright.
steady, steady. Oi, there's a bloke down here. He's got a fucking Zildjian t-shirt on, he has.
Kick him out.
Oi. Hang on a minute. Hands up. How many drummers in the audience?
Quantos bateristas por aqui?
Okay. How many drummers use... How many drummers use... How many drummers use Sabian cymbals?
Quantos bateristas usam pratos da Sabian?
Right, you lot can piss off.
Vocês que pagam, vocês já podem ir embora.
Ah, I'm manager. What you got there? What's that? Oh, Tama? What's that? Cool, blimey, this is a bit old, this picture. Yeah, I'll get you later. Tell him, Andre, tell him thank you very much, I need a new snare.
Ele te agradeceu muito pelo presente, falou que ele está precisando de uma reserva. Samba velhinho. Esse é um costume britânico muito antigo.
You can take it home. Thank you. All good. I see. Now, settle down. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Deu pra divertir, né? Pera, gente, vai ter... Vamos tocar as perguntas.
He says 2 sticks. Okay, so from 2 to 1 then. Well.
Você pode dizer, eu não sei inglês.
Fala. Fala.
Pergunta como é que é tocar no Iron Maiden.
First question of the day. We're going to open up a conquest to see the dumbest question of the day. But this one is, how is you play on Iron Maiden?
How is it to play an Iron Maiden?
Yep.
The Banks! Does that translate in Portuguese?
No, but I can try.
True.
Próxima pergunta lá em cima. Vai lá.
One at a time. Hey? Your cat from his...
Lousy camera. No. It's a gentleman.
I haven't got any left.
you will have to go bonzo the next time. Vamos relaxar.
I've got 4 sticks left. That's it.
Show us you do.
Ok.
Então, ele só tem mais 4 baquetas e tem um workshop a mais para fazer. Dá uma relaxada, vamos. Um de cada vez.
After the show, okay, after we finish today, I shall need all of you to sign autographs. You're buying, okay? Oh! Where'd you get that? It's showing me down, look at that. Who do you reckon that is? No, that's no good, that's Iron Maiden. This is me on my own! Fucking handsome, blow.
What is that?
Yeah, it's my flag, isn't it? Yeah, that's great, mate. Did you like it? Yeah? Rhythm of the Beast. Well, Rhythm of the Beast was a video that I did. Hey, look at this! Oh, man! Right. That's all wrong in there. You do know that, don't you? The bloke who transcribed that's a complete idiot. Hold on. I'm going to answer this guy's question. It's important.
Deixa ele responder a pergunta desse rapaz primeiro.
She with you? She with you? Oh, fuck it. It's all right. I'm not married today, girls. It's not on my finger, is it?
Fala. Não seja chato. He wants to give private lessons.
He wants a private lesson?
Yeah. So bring your sister.
Come on in. Sticks. Carlos. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Carlos. Please welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause. Go on now. Give it some. Carlos, boys and girls, thank you very much. Hey, hold on, steady. I got a question.
Só um minutinho, ele quer fazer uma pergunta para vocês.
Whoever gets this right, hang on, steady. Sit down, come on.
Joga a baqueta aí, meu!
Right, here's the question. Whoever gets the question right gets the drumstick.
Quem conseguir responder a pergunta vai ganhar essa baqueta.
Who is the most handsome player in Iron Maiden?
Quem é o... É o...
What? What? What's that? It's a shirt. Bloody great. Every time I come to Brazil, boys and girls, I get loads on their new wardrobe. Cheers, mate. What you got there? Hang on. He says this. I signed it. Oh, he wants a picture. He did give me a shirt.
It's okay.
That's nice. Hang on. Hang on.
One more.
Good. I can't remember it. I know, yeah, I know. He asked me to play a song that I can't remember. Black Bart Blues? The song? I know I played it. I can't remember, I don't remember it. I will in a minute. Honestly,
Okay, let's go on with the questions. Vamos fazer primeiro as perguntas, depois a gente continua essa brincadeira. Para o pessoal que tá...
He asked me, right, he said, could you do for me, please, the intro to Black Bart Blues? Well, look, now I've got to tell you, right, the way when Iron Maiden record albums, right, we do cover versions for B-sides, right, like Cross-Eyed Mary, School Days, My Generation, Reach Out, you know, all that. Right, well, Black Bart Blues was a song that we all just threw together one afternoon in the studio. We went, we need a B-side. What shall we do? Let's do a blues. So we wrote that song in the studio, but when we recorded it, you know, we learnt it. Hang on, that's the wrong beat. Alright, finished the song, right? Then we recorded it. And I have not played that song to this day, since I recorded it. How's it go? Come play it for me. Okay.
Ele vai chamar, ele estava explicando como é que funcionou e chamou o rapaz aqui para tocar. Falou que eles compuseram essa música como várias outras canções que eles escolheram como covers para colocar no lado B de alguns compactos. Né? E foram muitas, e o mais interessante é que desde o dia que ele gravou essa música, ele nunca mais tocou de novo. Então, ele falou assim, eu sei como é que toca. Então, sobe aqui e toca para mim.
Yeah, he's going to have a go at it so I can remember it. I reckon if I can remember it. I know it starts after 4.
And I'm left-handed.
Oh, he's bloody left-handed. Oh. No, you ain't turning the kit round. Fuck off. Sorry, I swore at you. Oh yeah, I've got it. I think I have. I can't remember it. How's it go? That's all right. So am I. He said he's really nervous. So am I. Yeah. How's the riff go? Does anyone know the melody to it?
Alguém lembra da melodia dessa música?
Can anyone sing it?
Alguém consegue dançar?
Oh, I'd like a hand. I know what I'd like to give her. Okay, this bloke is singing for us. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll give you a stick. I ain't got it. What? You ain't having them off. This is my last pair.
Quer saber se é isso aí mesmo?
The trooper!
Silvânia.
Transilvânia! Transilvânia!
Tempo.
He said, do Genghis Khan, right? That was on the frigging Killers album, wasn't it? I've never played it, we've never learned it. Because you know why? Clive Burr wrote it. Oh, running the hills, that's simple, that is. I'll show you this one. You guys ought to come out on a gig with me.
Tá convidando vocês para virem todos para o show cantar com ele amanhã.
It's a very, very simple fill actually to play.
Falou que é uma batida super simples de tocar.
It's just the bass drum on the floor.
É o bumbo, né? Os 4 tempos.
That's the intro, okay? Be quick. No, I'm not going to play. And then the verses. It's very simple. It's a very simple drum fill. It's a basic 16s on the iron. And all I do is I put a little extra trill in it.
Basicamente,
What next?
é uma série de semicolcheias do chimbal com o bumbo nos 4 tempos. Você falou que é uma várias super simples. Fala alto para eu poder traduzir para todo mundo.
Power slave. Hang on a minute, let me have a think of that. Oh yeah. The intro to that is a right bastard to do. Anyway, it's like this. I'll try and play it slow. That's the intro. I'll play it slow.
Próxima parte.
It's a triplet on the bass drum.
É uma tercina no bumbo.
To do it, you just follow the right hand. So it's like this.
Ele recomendou, é só seguir, ele está fazendo com o pé a mesma coisa que ele está fazendo com a mão direita.
Now, you can use 2 bass drums with it.
Got some money time.
And soccer. No, not me.
Nicko.
Only one right there. That's what she said last night. Body.
Nicko.
Why don't I use 2 bass drum pedals? Thank you very much. No.
Ele quis saber por que ele não usa 2 pedais, né?
Because. Thank you. No, nothing so bold as to say that, but I find it very difficult playing with one. So if I have 2, I double the problem.
Ele acha muito difícil tocar com só, e se ele colocar mais um, ele dobra o problema. Nicko, there is a question here. The guy was asking, why do you take your shoes off to play?
Oh shit. No wonder my foot hurts. Many years ago, when I was 20, about 10 years ago,
Handsome and toddy.
I used to play with nothing, you know, in bare feet. For many years, I played with no feet, with no shoes on. No. I used to play with nothing on my feet, and then as I played with harder, louder, faster, you know, in hard metal, hard rock bands, I used to tear the skin off my toe. But actually, when I played a bass drum pedal, which I'll talk about in a minute, if you look at my foot, it's nice and clean, isn't it? You see there, it's white. That's where my foot touches the bass drum pedal. Nothing down here, just the toe. And what I find is it gives me much more. I actually play it like this. Normally I've got a pair of boots on, okay? But when I do these sort of shows, it's more comfortable not to have shoes on.
Let me translate that. Até os 20 anos ele costumava tocar descalço. Era uma maneira que ele se sentia mais confortável e em controle do pedal. Mas depois que ele passou a tocar um tipo de música mais pesada, que exigia mais velocidade, mais volume, ele mudou, né? Normalmente ele tem tocado com botas, né? Mas ele estava demonstrando que ele usa somente a ponta do dedão para poder pressionar o pedal. É a única parte que toca no pedal enquanto ele está usando.
Nicko, please. Do you play jazz and the other rhythms?
Jazz?
And the other rhythms?
Sometimes when I'm at a gig, I forget where I am, and I go off, and the band go, what the hell was that? Ronnie Scott's or what? Ronnie Scott's is a famous jazz club in London. Not really. I played some gigs with a guy called Mike Westbrook. He had a band called Solid Gold Cadillac, which was a free, like, avant-garde jazz, and I played with him for a wee while, and it was very interesting. I like just to. I've not actually put my mind into sitting with a trio or a quartet of jazz players. One day maybe I'll do that, but I'm kind of more of an aggressive player, so I tend to play loud. I can play quiet, but I prefer to. By the way,
deixa eu só traduzir a resposta dele antes do striptease final. Ele estava dizendo que às vezes quando ele se perde no meio da gig, ele está tocando jazz, né? Outras vezes ele já tocou com outros músicos na Inglaterra e tudo mais, tal, mas como ele se sente um músico extremamente agressivo, ele prefere tocar alto, prefere sentar porrada antes do striptease.
Right, now, how many drummers we got? How many? Yeah, all you drummers in the audience, right? I don't know, when I was growing up, learning to play the drums. Alright, I haven't grown up. Okay, fair enough. Right. My mum used to go really crazy because I'd sit at the house after school. Will you shut that noise up? You're driving me out of my mind!
How old were you?
Mum.
How old were you?
11. I was. thought to myself, screw this, I'll go and lock myself in the bathroom. So this is what I used to do. So, this is the scenario. You're sitting in a toilet, right? Yeah, you go into a railway station or an airport, and you go in the toilet or the bathroom, and they have this amazing reverb. It's like ding, 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 ding. When you hit the door, it's like brilliant. But the thing is, you'd be in the toilet, you know, practicing, getting into it. Imagining the drum. It's like this. One! Michael! Michael! One! Will you get out of that toilet? Hold on, Dad, I'm in the solo. I've got one more verse and the bridge and I'll be out.
Legal. O pessoal que não entendeu a história, mas é o seguinte: quando ele começou a tocar bateria em casa, por volta dos 11 anos de idade, mas ele enchia o saco dele direto, não deixava ele estudar. Ele falou: vou resolver o problema de uma maneira. Se mandou para o banheiro, né, e deu uma demonstração para vocês de como ele estudava no banheiro. Inclusive recomendou alguns banheiros públicos, como banheiro de aeroporto, que tem um reverb do cacete, o quarto tem um som de bumbo do caralho. E isso foi durante um bom tempo, até que o pai dele começava a chegar em casa e dar uns puta berro com ele. Ele falou assim: como é que é? Vai sair ou não vai sair essa porra desse banheiro? Ele falou assim: pô, tô terminando o solo, tem mais um chorus, depois o verso e aí terminou a música.
So, yeah, hang on, he's got a question, Danny. Sepultura is about it. Yeah, kick-ass band, man. We did some shows with them a few years ago. They're wonderful people too. If anybody gets a chance to meet them, they're superior people.
From the repertoire that you guys have with the band, what is the most challenging song that you have to play?
All of them.
Todas.
Iron Maiden, for a drummer, is, I possibly think, one of the best bands in the world to play for, because there are so many changes and there's so many different vibes in the songs. You know, they're all pretty powerful and straight. I mean, you know, hard and fast songs. But like, for instance, we've got a new song called Virus that's coming out. There's a new album called The Best of the Beast. Yeah, it's going to be released the second week of September, and it contains a new track. And there's two distinct sections in this song. See, when Steve Harris writes a song, it's never straightforward. He'll start off with an intro, then the verse, then the chorus and the solo, and somewhere along that line, he'll change it. He'll change the emphasis of the four, or he'll even put a different time signature in it. So it's a real challenge to always play with Maiden, you know, to get the new songs. I'll play you the two different feels of this one song, actually.
Ele falou que ele vai tocar essa canção Várias, que está num disco novo, né? The Best of the Beast, que vai sair na segunda semana agora de setembro. E ele está explicando que é uma música bastante difícil, como quase todas as músicas do Iron Maiden, tem essa característica de vários climas diferentes e tudo mais. Don't forget your throne. And the paper toilet. E
Actually, there are three sections to it: the intro, the verse. I need those, yeah. So the first few. This will all make sense when you hear the song.
isso vai fazer mais sentido quando vocês ouvirem a canção pronta.
This is the first group.
Os bateristas, principalmente, que tiverem mais perguntas técnicas para fazer, já começar a fazer, porque a gente vai começar a limitar, porque tem um outro workshop às 7 horas. A gente não quer deixar isso para correr no final, para poder rolar tranquilo. Vamos aproveitar e fazer as perguntas técnicas. Fala você aqui, né?
Yes, sir.
Você faz uma fala, assim, antes do show, você faz algum aquecimento, você libera alguma coisa?
Yeah, what kind of warm-up routine do you have? If it's that, practicing with a paddle or anything, or if you just drink a couple of Guinness stout. So if you go searching for the good-looking ones in the audience, what is that?
Hey! This is what I normally do. I just get my sticks, and it's a routine of stretching. You get 2 sticks like this, like this. Just try and break the sticks basically, and then you turn them around like that to the other side. And you kind of stretch the back muscles. Stretch like this. Just stretches, and then get the sticks. Drive the band, man! Yes,
I'm only the translator, I'm not in the band.
Will you shut up? Piss off, I'm practicing, you know. We're going outside the dressing room. No. Says you know, with drums, you know, it's like at home when you practice. Will you shut up? Right? What can you say? But no, just stretches and you know, because I'm an old man, I've got real bad problems with my wrists and my hands.
What about your fingers?
What?
Your fingers. What do you have kind of routine of practicing your fingers?
No,
to get such speed.
No, I just play, you know. I find that when I'm with the band, that's a workout, you know. So if you're playing 5 gigs a week, there's no need to sit and do that, you know.
There's no time for that.
No, basically, hard rock grooves are usually consistent with just single stroke rolls.
Okay.
And the odd flam here and there. If you want to try and do that in rock and roll, you can do it, but you don't have any power. Unless you really get a lot like one of these going. or the effort that you spend. So it's better to just go. Most, I'll give you an example, it's like, most rock and roll films are like this.
O que ele estava explicando é o seguinte, a pergunta foi a respeito sobre a técnica, né?
It's a lot more just single stuff. So you get a single stroke going nice and quick. Sweet.
Não existe muita prática para os dedos ou alguma coisa do gênero. O que ele faz é que uma banda que toca 5 noites por semana não tem nem tempo para praticar. O que acontece é que ele prefere utilizar um em um, ao invés de usar flans. Flans, tudo bem, soa bonito e tal, mas você, a não ser que tenha um movimento muito grande, você não tem a potência que você tem com todos os single strokes, ou seja, com esse tipo de virada em um em um.
Nico, quais os bateristas que influenciaram ele?
What kind of drummers did he influence you?
Drummers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Ringo Starr.
You like him more?
Steady on now. When Ringo Starr came out with the Beatles in '62, that man was awesome. That guy sat on the groove so well. Big 15-inch synth-hi-hats. I mean, Phil Rudd, he got it off of Ringo. No, Ringo Starr was my first drummer that influenced me. In fact, the drummer that made me pick up a pair of sticks was Joe Morello. Shut up! I'm telling a story. Right, anyway, so there was Ringo Starr, and then of course there was the late great, one of my very close friends, Keith Moon. Keith Moon was just the animal of drums. I mean, Gene Krupa was the equivalent in the 30s, 40s. He was the lunatic, real powerful drummer. Buddy Rich was like, who's this Gene Krupa geezer, But, Krupa was the Keith Moon of his time. So there was John Bonham after him. So those three drummers were my biggest influences in my life. John Bonham, Keith Moon, and Ringo Starr.
Nico, in the Rhythms of the Beast, you talked something about when you're tired, you're playing, and if you're tired, would you like this?
You change hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you're doing is when you play, and hands doing all the work. How many right-handed drummers in the audience? Right-handed. Yeah? Almost everyone. Well, yeah. Left-handed drummers. This one's doing all the work. Right? So, what you do is, when you're playing in the band, 10 songs down the road, it's like, fucking thing don't work. So what you do is you give it a break and you go over to the left side of the kit and you play the hi-hat with the left hand and leave the right hand to do the... So it's doing less work. So it's,
Basicamente o que ele está explicando aqui Se você está tocando uma mão direita, após 10 canções, você sentiu que o braço está cansando, que está começando a travar, você simplesmente muda a função do braço direito. Você passa a usar ele na caixa, a função anterior do braço esquerdo, e passa a conduzir o tempo com a mão esquerda no hi-hat.
So it gives this one time to go. Yeah, I'm okay now. Hello, Mrs. Hello. My foot. Does it get tired? No, the foot really. If you're doing a pattern like I just
for a massage.
do I need a massage?
I'm just saying.
It ain't only my foot that's tired, believe me. All right. Yeah. The foot. It depends. You see, most rock up-tempo songs, you're going sort of a combination of eights. You know, like lost the words, for instance. Right? That's a bugger to play. I'll show you. This is when your hand gets tired, but you're only doing this song, maybe one song at this sort of tempo in the set. So, but the bass drum isn't sort of going. Sort of, and if it does get tired, just stop it. Just go. You don't even play anything.
Let's see the... Você dá um descanso para o teu pé direito. Não toca ele de forma mais simples. Se for o caso, muda o pattern, porque automaticamente você vai estar descansando o seu pé.
Lost for words. 2, 3. Lazy or you get tired, you just do this. See, so what happens is you cut it down and you up. It's a trick, it's a way out when it gets too much. Plus sometimes when you start into a song, as you get further down the road, the tempo lifts. Okay, in all rock and roll, most songs never click because rock and roll music isn't about perfect staying in the meter with a metronome. It has to breathe. So solos tend to always lift up, not like not unless you're Halloween at the horse. I didn't mean that. I'm only joking. So.
No, I think it's important to explain about the tempo thing. You know, it is. Yes, there's. A história é a seguinte: ele fala que rock and roll não é uma música para se ter um tempo perfeito. Ela tem que respirar por si própria. É natural que ela corra um pouco. De repente, no meio do solo tem toda uma adrenalina. Ela tem que subir para que a pessoa, ela passe ali e voltar. Oi, diga.
O que ele acha do Cliff Burton, o baterista do Iron Maiden dele?
How about Cliff Burton, the drummer that was on Iron Maiden before you? Five. I'm sorry. I'm just a blues player.
Where is he? I don't know. Last I heard, Clive was working with Dee Snider in a band called Widowmaker. But I don't know, this was 3, maybe 4 years ago.
He was asking what you think of his drumming.
Oh, what do I think of it? Brilliant. Great drummer, yeah. He was excellent.
Wait.
Sorry? Newport! Newport! Don't talk to me in my clinic about Newport! The geezer's too bloody good, mate, you know. Where the hell did he get that from? It's like he goes...
Nicko,
What?
there's a question, it's a good one. It's about why did you change the drum, from solo to
Why did I change the drum?
senior?
Well, about 4 years ago, maybe 5 now, there's a German instrument company called Honor, and this company bought Sonor, okay? So what happened was the people that I had dealt with for 18, getting on 19 years I was with Sonor for, they left. And so when they left, the whole company went down the tubes. So basically my loyalty was with the people who originally had Sonor. Mr. Horst Link, who designed the Signature series, which was all the hardware I used to use, and in the last couple of tours with Maiden I used the Signature series drum kit. It just didn't work for me anymore. So I made, when they left, the Link, the people who owned the family, the family who owned Sonor, I went with them and said, look, I'm going to find another drum company. And over the years, Premier had always used to come to me at the trade shows and things like this and go, so Nick, hi, hello, when are you going to come and use our drums in? And I'm like, I'm with Sonor and I'm very happy. But as soon as Sonor was down the tubes, I thought, hi guys, how you doing? You remember me? You remember you said you'd give me some drums? Oh, did we? Ha
A ideia é a seguinte: durante 18, quase 19 anos ele usou Sonor, e quando uma outra firma comprou a fábrica, um conglomerado comprou a fábrica, várias pessoas com as quais ele estava acostumado a trabalhar,
Right, sorry, go ahead. Okay. I had to get rid of them.
as pessoas que estavam com ele, as pessoas que costumaram trabalhar com ele na Sonor acabaram abandonando a companhia, e a firma, logo após ele deixar, também porque era uma questão de fidelidade dele aos funcionários que estavam construindo os instrumentos para ele durante esse período todo. Então ele acabou mudando para a Premier, porque antigamente eles tinham sempre esse flerte do Premier, chegar, pô, você não vem usar, não sei. Ele falava, não, estou satisfeito com a Sonor. Aí no momento que ele percebeu que a Sonor tinha ido pro saco, ele chegou lá e falou, oi pessoal, vocês lembram de mim? Vocês tinham me prometido me dar algumas baterias de graça, não sei o que lá, tava assim, nós? Quem? Gente? Mas ele acabou, nos últimos anos, está 5 anos já com a Premier.
Okay, hold on. That brings me up. No, it's worthwhile. Now we're talking about Premier, okay? Before, with Sonor, I used to use a beechwood shell drum, which was a 9-ply shell. It was like this thick, about 15 millimeters, maybe 20 millimeters, whatever. Yeah, so then when I went with Premier, they didn't have a beechwood line of drums. So they introduced me to this drum kit, this line of kit, which is a Signia series, as you can tell from the bass drums. Signia series. This is made of maple, this drum kit. Now, maple's a lot lighter and it's not as dense as the beechwood, so I'm thinking I'm going to lose a lot more power. I'm not going to have as much volume. But believe me, I really like this drum kit. I think, does it sound good out there? Yeah. Well, anyway, this is a baby version of my drum kit, okay? This here is a 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-inch floor tom. with a 24 by 18 inch, sorry, this is a 22 by 18 inch bass drum. My drum kit is a 24 inch bass drum, same length, 18, but I've got 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and I've got this one up here, 16, and then I have an 18 inch floor tom. But you know, these drums are great, no matter what sizes you get. You can get. I used to use square size drums, and I've gone back to the regular 12 by 9, 13 by 10, etc. On the bass drum, I use a DW 5000 series. It's the new, it's an accelerator pedal.
Why did you change it? The King Ludwig.
From Ludwig, I couldn't get them anymore. Yeah, they stopped manufacturing them in Chicago, and they started making them in Spain or something, in Mexico or somewhere. You know, hey, Mariva, Macarona, look at this. Oh, that'll do, yeah. Keep it up. Underlay. So, a friend of mine said, look, I wanted to check out the turbo pedal first, which was the first DW pedal I had out. And then I talked to a guy called John Good at DW, and I said, look, here's a Speed King, make me this pedal the same as that, balance it up and everything. So they made a special camshaft for me that's got 2 extra holes in it. You can't buy this in the shop, not that long. You can phone them up and say, I want one of Nick's pedals. But it's just, I'll show you.
Deixa eu traduzir enquanto isso. Ele deixou de trabalhar com os pedais da Ludwig. Né? Primeiro ele descreveu em termos de tamanho a bateria, disse que essa é uma bateria, é a miniatura da bateria dele. Né? E ele está explicando agora como é que funciona o pedal dele. É um pedal que ele, após anos usando o Ludwig Speed King, ele mudou para DW, né? E ele pediu pessoalmente para o John Good, que é o proprietário da firma, que começou como fábrica de pedais mesmo, a construir como se fosse uma réplica, uma coisa não sofisticada, que é uma tradição deles Teixeira e nheco-nheco, esse pedal para ele, que você não consegue comprar em loja.
Right, now the biggest difference from this to the first line of pedals is they made a hinge with a ball bearing hinge at the back, because what was happening prior to this was there was just a regular hinge, like a door hinge here, and it would snap all the time. So you'd be halfway through a song, and this thing wouldn't work because it's broken, you know. So I had a lot of trouble. So anyway, what they did was it's very important, the spring tension of a pedal is primary to work in your foot.
Remember Rhythms of the Beast?
Yeah, yeah. You would have to remember that, thank you. Right, it's a classic. There's so many people, probably in this room, who's got a bass drum pedal that's set up somewhere like this. If you pull it back like this, actually I'll see what I'll do, I'll leave it on the floor. Watch this, see how long it takes to stop. I'm only going down like this, or even from here. Right, no, we go this way, watch. Now, what that tells you, or tells me anyway, is that I've got a really nice tension on the spring, right here. Now some bass drum pedals you get, if you do this, alright, now look how long it's going to take ages for it to stop. Now imagine there's your bass drum in. So what's happening is this is coming off the bass drum head really fast. So when it's gone, like, ooh, and you know, it's like, well, I can't do it now because it ain't stuck down, is it? Right. Now, if you've got a bass drum pedal that hits the skin and comes back like this, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, is it? No matter, you take your foot off, it goes, there's no spring power. So always make sure you've got this adjustment right in here. Now, depending on what kind of pedal you have, There's so many with different arrangements to them, but make sure when you test it, you just push it back to horizontal and make sure it rocks quite a while. You don't want it going like this and then stop it, you know, like a couple of times, because it's not going to have the speed to release off the bass drum. So you must make sure this is primary, even if you use 2 bass drums. You've got to do it on the left one too, you know. So anyway, going back to the pedal, what they did, the new pedals you get, they've got a keyway in them. Has anyone got one of the new DWs? Anyone? Well, what happens is, you've got a drum key. This one's a screw-in. But normally you just take a drum key, you can slide in the cam, you can slide the adjustment. So what the adjustment does is it changes the angle of the beater in relationship to the bass drum, which therefore affects the speed of the release. So what they did was they did this one, and there's 4 holes on the bottom, and where this one is screwed in, there's 2 at the top, and it gives you extra spring tension instead of making different spring on it. So these are very, very seriously good pedals. So anyway, don't matter what you use, make sure you've got a good spring release like that, and oil it up. Make sure it's got a lot of oil to it, lubricated. I mean, that'll go forever. You know.
A ideia sobre o pedal é o seguinte: ele estava explicando que é fundamental que você tenha o release, ou seja, o movimento do beater bastante grande. Se ele voltar como se fosse em slow motion, você não adquire a potência que seria necessária para tocar o tipo de música que ele faz. Para tomar muito cuidado na compra de um pedal, poder escolher um pedal que tenha esse movimento, que tenha uma mola bastante forte que possa resistir e uma boa regulagem. Né? Isso tudo determinou na feitura desse pedal para ele, da forma que ele escolheu para que pudesse funcionar da forma que ele toca. Inclusive, ele fala assim, se você usa 2 pedais, leve em consideração isso também, pé esquerdo. Não adianta você ter um pedal direito rápido e pé esquerdo não. Funciona dessa maneira. A gente tem mais 5 perguntas. Nick, there's whoever plays some Premier drums, you know, any drummer that play Premier already, you know, they have some hats here for you to give away. Yeah. Yeah.
Any Premier drummers in the audience? Premier kit. Roland? If I won, beg your pardon, that's your fiancée. You play Premier? You 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on a minute. He's got a frigging pearl snare drum. He's going, yeah, I play Premier. I've got a Premier bass drum. What's that? Oh. Modern drummer, Brazil. Bastards never put me on the front page, did they?
You're probably next.
Better be, or else it'll be trouble. No. Splendid magazine. Rick Van Horn's actually a very good friend of mine, the editor of this magazine. What? No, this has got to go with the Premier people. All right. What else?
Somebody was asking one of the questions is about the way you tune your kit. Eu queria saber a respeito da afinação.
Okay, yeah, that's important. Hey, all right, this is for the drummers in the audience. Where's that drummer? Is there a drummer in here? Yeah, where's that little one? It's right there. There he is. Uh-oh, who's happy drum away? Before we get on with the tuning, I want to tell you, as you probably have noticed after all of these years that you guys have known me, I use Paiste cymbals. And I use Paiste cymbals because they're the best in the world for me. Thank you. I've used these cymbals since I was 16 years old. Not this particular set, but I've used the brand of Paiste cymbals since I was 16. Bought all my cymbals up until I joined Iron Maiden. When I joined Iron Maiden, I went, right lads, I'm now in a world famous rock band. Okay? Sorry, that's Nicko. What do you want? I want my cymbals free. But you must be f***ing joking. No. No, I will buy the very first set of cymbals with the Peace of Mind tour. I had a brand new drum kit and a whole mass of cymbals, and it cost me $4,000 to pay for the cymbals. And I said I'd buy the first cymbals. I'm getting Zildjian. I buy the first set of cymbals, and then from now on, I don't ever want to pay for another cymbal in my life. And they said, okay, as long as you've been faithful for 20 years prior to this. So that's my story. Now, up here we've got I'll get that in a minute. We've got a 24-inch crash at the back here. Oh, that's a beautiful cymbal, this one. Oh yeah, you want to hear it? Well, yeah, all right. Give us a stick, someone, will you? Lend us your stick. I'll give it back to you, I promise. Give it back. Oh, this is one. Oh, this is another thing. When you use a drumstick, right? When I play, I'll play left hand out this way and right hand out that way, because the extra weight on this end gives me a gives you a good kick in the arse, you know. And you got this side to get the bounce. You know, after now. How many times this happened when you're at a rehearsal, right? Your singer goes, oh, I'm going to have a go at your drum kit. No. And then the next thing, right? So he picks up your drumsticks, conventional way. So he's playing them both this way, right? So then he puts the sticks back in the bag. Then you, like a dummy, halfway through the song, break a drumstick, pull the one out, turn it round, and it's been played and it's all tuned up this side, right? Right, and then what happens? You get a frigging splinter in your hand. Right, while you put it, Jesus Christ. Biggest mistake you can ever do is get a splinter from a drumstick. Because what can happen is, once it goes in, because 9 times out of 10 it will go into the callus, where it's on your hand, where your skin's gone hard, and it's a bastard to get out, so you dig away at it. Right? Bastard, get out, you bastard, come on. Right? And then you get an infection. This happened to me on the Peace of Mind tour. I got blood poisoning from the splinter out of a drumstick, because you know who? That bastard Bruce Dickinson used my sticks. I picked them up. So never let anyone play your drum kit. That's all I say, right? Don't, especially the singers. If they do want to play your, tell them to get their own pair of drumsticks.
Dizendo que eu nunca deixei os bateristas tocarem com as baquetas, as suas baquetas. Aliás, nunca deixarem os cantores sentarem na sua bateria, em hipótese alguma. Né? Ele acabou arrumando até envenenamento sanguíneo por causa de ter deixado o cantor do último turnê que eles tinham feito pegar na baqueta dele e tocar com ela invertida e arrumar essas farpas na mão, porque ela falou que é uma merda, não sai de jeito nenhum. Você fica tocando e fala, puta, sai daqui, desgraçado. Não tem jeito do negócio sair.
Tá?
No, yeah. I was just cursing a little bit.
Yeah, it's really important. So this is it. It's even better from this side because you can give it a... Oh man, that's a killer cymbal. Anyway, not many people use a cymbal that size. I like it because it's just so meaty, and when you're rocking and you want to hear something really big, you just whack the shit out of that, and it's brilliant. Right, now, down here, this is a 20-inch, these are all 2002 series cymbals, boys and girls, right? This is a 2002 20-inch medium. This is a nice cymbal. Right, now down here, I've got, usually I use a 17-inch rood, but I broke them all. So I had to go up to the 18s because I didn't have any spare 17s, they all cracked. Now, that is a problem with every cymbal you buy in the world. Zildjian, Sabian, Meinl, Ufit, any of those. Now, this is an 18-inch rood cymbal. Oh, I like that name. Rood. This thing, I'll tell you, man, this will kill you. If you're standing anywhere near it, now Steve Harris, right, when we play live, to this thing. This symbol on my kit is right at the ear. When you do it, you watch it. I'll get to this one in a minute. Oh yeah, I forgot this one at the back. I've got a China type over here. This is a 2002 22-inch China. And it's an effect symbol. You get a lot of drummers sort of doing it.